In this video, I'm going to talk to you about finding out I was pregnant with twins. So it was a bit of a tough journey for myself and Reese to get pregnant in the first place. I'm an older mum anyway, so I was 38 when I got pregnant with the twins, and Reese is 4 years older than me. I've had a pregnancy years ago. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and back then I was 24 years old when I got pregnant, and it wasn't a problem at all. I got pregnant straight away and I had a totally straightforward pregnancy. But this time round, getting pregnant was a completely different ballgame. In the end, I had tests done to see if I was okay. I had one test done called laparoscopy, where they make a small incision by your belly button and they go in with a camera to have a look around to see if there's any blockages or things like endometriosis, or even see if my tubes were blocked. And they were completely fine, completely clear. There was nothing obstructing anything, and no real answer really. It's just time. After a while, my doctor at the fertility clinic, he prescribed me a drug to take to help with ovulation, because at that point my cycles were getting longer, they're getting further apart, which was becoming a bit more of a worry, especially with my age. So he gave me this drug which helped with my cycles and ovulation, and we timed it all right. I took the drug, and the first time, the first cycle of taking it, I fell pregnant, which was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't believe it happened after years of trying for a baby. Because I was under the care of a fertility clinic, I got to have an early scan. This early scan was at 7 weeks. So myself and Reese went along to the clinic, and it was just before the lockdowns happened with COVID. So Reese was still able to come with me for the scan. So we went in, I had a scan, and there was a tiny little baby. And the doctor had a good look round, because he did warn us on fertility treatment, any kind of fertility treatment, there's a higher risk of multiple pregnancies. I actually said, when he gave us the drugs to start with, I actually said, oh, I don't mind, I'd love more than one baby, not realising it would actually happen. So he had a good look to see if there was more than one baby at 7 weeks, and there wasn't. There was just one baby, and it just looked lovely. It was just this tiny little blob, I guess. Then we got to go back again at 10 weeks. I had a 10-week scan with him as well, and he had another look just to make sure everything was okay and the pregnancy was progressing as it should. And there was our little baby again, and it was growing lovely. I was definitely 10 weeks along, and he sent us off on our way and said, I have to contact my midwife, I have to contact my local hospital so I can be given a midwife, and then the next scan I'll have will be at a routine 12-week scan. So that was fine. Off we went, happy. We were going to have a little baby, due at the end of October 2020, the day before Halloween actually. And so yeah, things were absolutely fantastic for us. We were over the moon. When it came down to my 12-week scan, I received a letter from the hospital saying I have my 12-week scan appointment. So myself and Reese went along to the hospital, and unfortunately, because of COVID, everything was on lockdown, so Reese wasn't allowed in. I had to wait in the car until I was called in for the scan. So no one was really allowed to wait in the waiting rooms. And I remember thinking Reese was actually quite lucky that he had already seen our little baby because of the earlier scans. And I was thinking, I felt so sorry for all the new parents that were in our position and weren't able to go into the hospital to see their little baby for the first time. They just had to wait in the car and wait for some scan pictures. But when I got my call to go in for the scan, I had a talk with the doctor first, and she was looking through my notes and had noticed that I had already had a couple of early scans. She was happy with what the doctor had said. She understood that I had been on fertility treatment to get pregnant in the first place. Obviously, she took note of my age because I was an older mum, not quite a geriatric mum, because I think that's what they call you when you hit 40, which is really nice, isn't it? Geriatric mum. So yeah, I had a talk with her. She took my blood pressure and everything was fine. The next thing is she asked me to lay down on the couch. So I did that, and I was laying there thinking, oh, I felt sorry for Reese because he couldn't be with me. And it's nice having someone with you, especially to share such a big experience and a big moment with, because, you know, this is something we'd waited for such a long time, even though we'd already seen it, but it just was so small. It just looked like a little blob, really. And this time it was going to look like an actual baby with little arms and legs. I was led there, and she dimmed the lights down and she started to scan me. And it was at this point where she went completely silent and she just kept staring at the screen. Didn't know why she was doing that, and I started to panic. And then I was thinking, oh no, I've lost the baby, and I was completely on my own. And I remember holding on to my top, thinking, oh God, I just wanted to speak to me. And she was staring at the screen, and it felt like forever, but it was probably only, I don't know, a matter of 20 seconds, something like that. But when you're in that circumstance, it does feel like forever. And so after what felt like forever, she looked at me and she said, do you know you're expecting twins? I can still see her right now saying that to me, and I just thought, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm not having twins. And she said, well, you are. And she swung the monitor around, and I remember I looked at it and she said, there's one baby and there's another one. And you know, I couldn't believe it. I thought, this isn't real, this isn't happening, this is crazy. I've already had 2 early scans. I can't be having another baby. How did he miss the baby in the first place? And she was absolutely baffled. And I remember laying there thinking that it was a dream, that this wasn't really happening. And I actually asked her, is this for real? Am I dreaming? Because I couldn't believe it. And if I wasn't led down at that point, I would have been flat on the floor with pure shock. And then I just thought to myself, Reese is outside and he's completely unaware that he's going to be a father to 2 children. And I took all of that experience in all on my own. And it was really, really nice to know I was having another baby, to have twins. And it was also really scary because all of a sudden there is another baby, and things went through my head like, how are we going to afford another baby? I know it's ridiculous, but so she's there, she's scanning me, she's looking in detail at the babies, which you'd imagine anyway, so you have to do measurements and everything. But what she couldn't understand is they were different sizes. And she said to me, these babies are actually measuring 3 weeks difference in size, which was absolutely bizarre. And then the first thing I was thinking was, oh, you know, there was something wrong with the second baby for it to be so small. She was trying to get some good measurements of it. Of course, this was my 12-week scan. So the first baby was a good enough size that she could get proper measurements. She was really happy with the size of the baby and how it was looking and everything. But the second one, she was really struggling. So she said to me, you know, shake around a bit. So there's me on this bed, shaking myself around, trying to get the baby to move so she could get a better look at it, and, you know, maybe it would be better size and everything. No, it just wasn't working. So she said to me, right, okay, I'll print you off some pictures. So she did. She printed off loads of scan pictures, and she said, go out into the car park, go and tell your partner the good news, and jump around and try and get the baby to move. Still completely in shock at this point. And I get off the couch, I get my scan pictures in my hand, and off I go, wandering through the hospital, thinking, God, this is mental. Wait till I tell Reese. I got up to the car and he looked at me as if to say, oh, that was quick. You know, you weren't in there that long. And I sat in the passenger side and I looked at him and I said, it's twins. And he just said, oh, yeah, whatever. And I gave him the scan pictures. He started looking at them and he was just like, oh, look at his little spine, look at his head, his little arms and legs, you know, things like that, things that you didn't get to see before. And I said to him, it's twins. And he didn't say anything at that point. He was looking, and then all of a sudden he noticed that it said twin 1 and twin 2 on the pictures. He couldn't believe it. Bless him, he was so happy. He just, obviously he was in complete shock and everything, but he was just absolutely blown over. He was totally over the moon. I was just thinking, oh, I feel so sorry for you because you've missed out on finding out in the hospital with me. But I was just so pleased that he was just so elated with this news. And then I had to go back in to finish off my scan. Led there and she said, nothing's changed. It's still measuring 3 weeks smaller. She couldn't understand why. She said it looks perfectly fine. Heart's beating fine. Everything that's supposed to be there and everything was there, just at a younger stage. And that is where my story really starts to take off. Something absolutely incredible happened. But when I start talking about it, I will be talking about it for ages, and this video will be so long. So what I'll do is I will tell you about the incredible journey that we've been on ever since that 12-week scan, and about my miracle twins, because they are a miracle, in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe to my channel so you can get updates on everything that we're going to get up to, because I hope to just to show you our crazy life, about life with twins. And I'm also pregnant again. I am currently 33 weeks at the moment with a completely unplanned baby. I didn't need any fertility treatment for that one, so fantastic news. The twins right now are 14 months old. There's going to be a real small gap between all the children. There'll be about 15, 16 months depending on what time this one's born. But anyway, yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.